Chapter 2. The Puppet Place, Mocha. For a moment, nobody said a word. They all stood gaping at the stranger on the doorstep. Charles noticed his shiny black hair, his silky red tie, his shiny black boots. But most of all, he noticed the shiny black nose of the puppy peeking out from the man's buttoned-up black overcoat. Charles watched the puppy's nose twitch. Uncle Stephen cleared his throat and stepped forward. "I don't believe we've met," he said. "I'm Stephen DeVries, and this is my wife, Abigail, and my daughter is Beck." The stranger frowned and shook his head. "No time for that at all. Look, can you help me or not? I'm a busy man. I can't care for a houseplant, much less a dog. I figured you farm folks." The puppy began to whimper and wriggle. The man adjusted his arms, trying to maintain his grasp, but it was clear to Charles that he did not have a clue about how to calm a puppy. Charles walked over and held out his arms. "I'm Uncle Stephen's nephew," Charles said. He said. That came out kind of funny, but he didn't care. All he could think about was that puppy and how much he wanted to hold it. "I'm pretty good with puppies," he added. "Is it a girl or a boy?" Girl, I think. Who knows? I'm not even sure. It all happened so fast." Quickly, the man unbuttoned his coat and handed the puppy over with a look of relief. He pulled an oversized red silk handkerchief out of the breast pocket of his perfect black suit and used it to wipe his hands. Just then, a phone buzzed. "That's me, gotta take this." He stepped back, reaching into his pocket. Charles smiled when he felt the warm weight in his arms. The puppy was really too big and too heavy for him to hold, so he let her down gently onto the floor and knelt next to her to pet her. "Well, hello," he said softly. The puppy was brown on top and white below, with half-pricked, half-floppy ears, 4 big white stockinged paws, and a blaze of white right down her face. She gazed up at Charles, looking adorably worried, with her wrinkled brown and big sorrowful brown eyes. "Who are you? Will you be my friend?" Lizzie, Becky, and Stephanie clustered around Charles to coo over the puppy, and the bean reached out around them to pet her. Buddy danced around, stretching his nose in to sniff the new arrival. The puppy wagged her tail. She seemed to enjoy all the attention. Charles buried his nose in the puppy's neck. She smelled sweet, like cookie dough mixed with a horsey smell. She was a big, solid girl with chunky paws. Her fur was unbelievably soft. She yawned, showing sharp white teeth and a tender pink tongue, and shook her head so her ears flopped. Then she sat up on her haunches and put her big paws on either side of Charles's neck, giving him a warm puppy hug as she sniffed and snuffled at his cheek. He felt his heart swell. "What a sweetie," he said. "Good girl." Good, the man echoed, but he was talking into his phone. "I'll be in touch." He snapped the phone shut and looked around like someone walking from a dream. When his eyes fell on Charles and the puppy, he nodded curtly. "I'll be off then," he said. He took a step away from the door. "Wait," said Uncle Stephen. "Are you leaving this puppy with us? Where did it come from? What are we supposed to do with it?" The man began to button up his overcoat. "Look, I'm not a dog person, and I'm no hero, but here's what happened. I was working in the city today. Afterward, I'm on my way home at rush hour on a highway with 4 lanes of busy traffic. Next thing I know, there's this tiny thing trotting across the road, ignoring all the cars and trucks whizzing by. How she managed to avoid getting flattened like a pancake, I'll never know. Anyway, I pulled over into the median, grabbed her, and..." He held up his hands. "That's all I know. End of story. Can you help me or not?" Charles gaped at the man. "You are a hero," he said. "You saved this puppy's life." The man shrugged. "Whatever." His phone buzzed again. He pulled it out of his pocket and looked at it, frowning. "Why can't they figure things out on their own?" he said to nobody. Then, without so much of a goodbye glance, he flipped the phone open and began to walk away. "Yes?" he said into the phone as he stepped off the porch. "What is it now?" "Wait," said Uncle Stephen. "We don't even know your name." But the man had disappeared into the dark November night. "Who was that?" Mom asked. "I don't know, and honestly, I'm not even sure I care to know," said Aunt Abigail. "He certainly was rude." "I'm guessing he's one of our new neighbors," said Uncle Stephen. "Not too neighborly, I'd say." "Very odd," Dad said. The puppy whimpered and everybody turned to look at her. "Pretty funny that he came here, isn't it?" Lizzie petted the puppy and made soothing noises. "I mean, we foster puppies. That's what we do." "But how could he know that?" "Well," Mom said quickly, "fostering puppies? That's what we do at home. We're just visiting here, remember?" "But we have to help," said Becky. "Look at her. This puppy is adorable, and she's obviously all alone in the world. No collar, no tags, running around in traffic." "Poor thing," said Stephanie. "We'd have to take her to the vet to find out if she has a microchip," Aunt Abigail said thoughtfully. "So many dogs have that now, and if she does, it's possible we could find her owners." Charles stared at his aunt. He knew what a microchip was, a tiny computer chip that could be inserted under a pet's skin with information about who owned the cat or dog and how to find them. But the way Aunt Abigail was talking, "You mean?" Aunt Abigail and Uncle Stephen exchanged looks. Then they both smiled and nodded. "Yes," said Aunt Abigail. "In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I think we should help this puppy."